Welcome to Mimi and More. Thanks for joining me on the channel. If you watch me, you'll know that I haven't been on for a while, and so I'm glad to be back. And this video is to fill you in on what's been happening, some big changes in our lives, and we want to share them with you. So let's jump right in. So for those of you who have followed the channel at all, you know about a year plus ago, I lost my job quite unexpectedly. And if you haven't seen that video about how I kept that a secret, well, please do give it a watch. I will put a link up down below in the description. But I did lose my job. I spent a lot of months not working. We did some traveling where we sort of played with full-time slow travel. Came back to the US this past February, and I got another job, which was great. I was very, very happy until I didn't have another job. So the company that I was with, unfortunately, went bankrupt about 4 months after I started. So when that happened, I looked at my husband and said, you know what? I'm kind of done. Like, I was 3 months shy from turning 64. And at that stage, I just really didn't want to have to pound the pavement again and try to find another full-time job. So I just said, let's do it. Let's see if we can make a new life by becoming full-time travelers. Let's see if we can make that a reality. So we did a lot of soul searching to make sure that that's what we really wanted to do, and we crunched tremendous amount of numbers. I was now going to retire, and that was happening about a year and a half faster than I wanted it to. So we had to make sure that everything was going to work. And really what we found out, and what I knew from running numbers previously, was that we could definitely afford to retire if we just traveled and got out of the US, because really our big overhead was staying here and continuing to pay our mortgage and property taxes and all that. So we decided to kind of plunge in and give it a try. So that was back in July that I lost my job, and we just hit the ground running. So we called a realtor. She came, she looked at the unit. We sort of settled on a date as to when we wanted to make everything happen. And with we were hoping that we would start our traveling in January, which is indeed what we're going to do. And so we put the apartment on the market. It sold very quickly. And from that point, we focused on how you sort of downsize your life then to really get rid of almost everything that you have. And it is not easy. It is not easy. There's a lot of videos out there. People talk about how, it makes you feel so much lighter getting rid of your stuff and not having a lot of possessions. But I don't think either one of us really felt that way. There were a couple of things that they're still sitting in a storage unit. So we decided that we would sort of follow the guidelines really of people that do this, of getting rid of your possessions, or mostly everything that you own, and dive into full-time travel. And we did what we could. So we did get a small storage unit, I will confess. And, there were a couple of things that we deemed really important that are now sitting in the unit. But by and large, we got rid of everything else. We were lucky enough that the buyer for our apartment loved most of our furniture and bought it. So that's great. So never undervalue what's in your home. Somebody else can definitely use it. So that took a big burden off, getting rid of those. This person took those really big pieces. And then we had a couple of occasions that we could give a lot of stuff away, and we did. We sold some stuff online. That's exhausting. Selling things online is exhausting. So sometimes it was just easier to give it away. We made lots of trips to the various donation places and shelters near where we live, and that does give you a good sense. But by and large, it does take a while to get rid of your stuff, and the emotional connection of letting it all go. So in the meantime, I really hit the ground running in terms of figuring out where we were going to go, what we were going to do, where we were going to stay. So I spent a tremendous amount of time online looking for lodging, if you will, between Airbnb, VRBO, hotels, apart hotels. And so we have all that squared away for pretty much the first half of 2026 through the month of July. And it does take a lot of planning. So if you're thinking about living this kind of life, know that you will spend a decent amount of time planning where you're going. And I think that it's important to do that as much as you can in advance, because believe you me, I've had an Airbnb get snapped up by hesitating on whether to take it or not. So words of wisdom: if you see an Airbnb you like, book it. I'm telling you, book it. You can always, if you need to, go back and cancel. So there were a lot of things we had to work out. I'm going to post some videos about things like insurance, health insurance, travel insurance. We also had to deal with a car, selling a car, keeping a car, renting a car insurance when you don't have a car. So I'm going to do a future video on that as well. There's a lot of information that I think is great for people to have, and there are so many people online doing this who really helped us in our journey. And so I will put links to their YouTube sites below, so you can watch them, because they have some great content. And so just a little sidebar, I talk about we. So I'm doing this with my husband, Raphael, who just really doesn't like to be on camera, and that's our deal. So I'm the face of the duo of Mimi and Raphael, and he's very much here and very much a part of the program, but he has opted to stay out of the whole YouTube thing, and so I do respect that. So we are not going to be that couple that's the two of us talking about everything we did. It'll be just me, but everything is our experience together. So I just want to leave you with that. I just want to sort of tell you where I've been and what I'm doing and what you have to look forward to for future content, which is really going to be pretty much travel based. I know I've done a lot of makeup and some other things, some diet and some weight loss. By the way, I'm happy to say that my weight loss journey has me down 57 pounds, and I'm very thrilled about that. I'll talk about how that's going to continue, obviously, while I'm traveling. I've certainly lost all the weight that I want to lose. I'm very happy with where I am, but I am on a GLP-1 medication, so I want to talk about how I'm going to manage that while I'm on the road, and just managing medications and all of that. There's a tremendous amount of content, and again, there's a lot of helpful people that talk about this as well, and I will lead you to them. But yeah, so that's it. That's the update. No more home. We're as of yesterday, we are literally no longer homeowners. We will soon not own a car. We are staying pretty local still, though, to where we lived for the balance of the year. Since it's so late in the year, we decided that we would just stay home for the holidays and spend that time with family, which I'm really looking forward to, and friends. Saying goodbyes probably won't be easy, but we will be coming back every few months. We'll come back to see parents and friends and some doctor's appointments and things like that. So we're coming back. We live here in the Northeast, in the metropolitan area. So that's it. I've droned on and on. I was hoping to do this video all in one take, so I think I got it done. We shall see, or I'll look at the stats and see if you dropped out after a minute and a half, or if you were willing to listen to me for however long this is recording. But that's the update. Full-time Travelers, effective January 3. Stay tuned for some videos on what it took really to get here to this place, and some roadblocks that we've had along the way, but mostly it's all been great, and everyone's been really supportive. So to that end, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, especially if you want to learn more, and join us on our maiden voyage, if you will, into the world of full-time travelers. And I'm sure we're going to hit a lot of bumps in the road, but we'll share it all with you. So great. Thank you for staying this long. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.